Welcome to the ANY KEbnY Video Show. I'm your host, Kenny ANY KEbnY Moore. The ANY KEbnY Video Show is the place and platform for independent creators. This is the songwriter episode. My guest has a song that choirs have been singing all over the country. Before we start the show, would you do two things for me? First, go like and subscribe to the Minds of Creativity Facebook page and YouTube channel so you can check out the rest of the content and get alerts when new shows are available. Second, subscribe to my YouTube channel and connect with me on social media at Coach_ANY KENY on Twitter, TikTok, Clubhouse, and Instagram so you can follow the show and keep up with the rest of the stuff that I'm doing. All right, my guest is ready and I'm ready, so let's start the show. Before my guest comes on to talk about his song, let's see a clip of him and the choir singing it. Here's Hold On by Corey Shipley and the Bishop's Choir on the ANY KEbnY Video Show. Now joining me is D. Corey Shipley. He's a musician, songwriter, producer, and choir master out of the Trenton, New Jersey area. You probably have heard this song recently recorded by Ricky Dillard and New Generation for their new project. You just saw a clip of him and his choir. Now let's bring him on and talk about it. Let's get him in here. There he is. Corey.
What's up,
back
man?
to the show, man. Thanks for being on. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, it's always my pleasure. So listen, man, actually, let's start with this. How gratifying has it been seeing so many choirs singing your song?
Man, it's a humbling honor. You know, we put it out. The choir actually put it out back in 2019. My choir.
Right.
So the question was asked, why did I, why did I let Dr. Dillard New G record it? And I told him, because I want the message to get further than what I can take it. Dr. Dillard's reach is so much further than my reach. It's been crazy, man, to see people singing in France, see people singing in Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I get clips every week of people, around the country singing a song.
For sure. I think the important thing was that you saw that it was someone that could take your song further than what you could have. You could have held on to it and, just kept it for yourself, kept it for the church. But the fact that you were able to release the song to the nation. So I think that's huge.
Yeah. I think one thing about that is, I think, a lot of people, when they write, they get kind of selfish with it because, it feels as though it's their message, so they're the only people that's supposed to relay it. But God gives you a message, and you put it out there. You want the message to keep going, and that's the way I feel about it.
Sure, man. Let's get a little deeper into the song.
Okay.
Talk about the process of writing Hold On. Talk about where the inspiration came from. Give me the backstory on how you wrote it.
Man, so the backstory on Hold On is I was actually out of work for about 2 years. And somebody called and asked me to write them a song. And at that time, I didn't have anything because, at that time I was trying to worry about, how I was going to feed my son and different things like that. And I just kept hearing the words in the back of my brain, hold on. And I went to my keyboard and started twiddling around on the keyboard. And the front part came to me. I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I was walking on the street and I heard the voice, the verse come to me. We sung it at a concert that we did called I Survived It. And the church loved the song. Like, it was bananas. And I was like, well, let's record and see what happens. And it's been a blessing to the people, all over. It's been a blessing. And then just to hear the testimonies of different people, them hearing the song and things like that, and even like to hear people that had the same testimony when I wrote the song. Now it's like it's crazy, and all praise to God, man, for lending me that song, for his people.
Yeah, absolutely. So you touched on it a little bit how you gave this song to Ricky Dillard, Dr. Dillard. Talk a little bit more about that. How did that come about? Was it a meeting? Was it a submission, a blind submission? How did the placement come about with it being with Dr. Dillard?
Man, so he reached out to me when they were doing the Breakthrough record, when they were getting tuned for the Breakthrough record. But about time he got to my song, they had already selected the songs for it. And he hit me up and he was like, can I do the song? And I was like, sure. I didn't even submit it because he heard it somewhere. And he was like, I want to record the song. I was like, you can do it, man. You can do whatever you want. So, like I said, he heard it and he wanted to do it. And he hit me up and was like, you ready? And I was like, yeah, I'm ready. But, it's whatever. And so I went to the recording and, they did a video, they have a live video of it. But what people don't see in the video is that while the song was going on, there was people literally walking up to me, shaking my hand, hugging me.
Wow.
And praying for me.
Wow.
Yeah, because the message resonated throughout that building. The other thing that you don't see in the video, you see the first reprise, but there was at least 3 more reprises. Even when Hold On was actually the last song of the first half. So when the choir and the band walked off, the audience was still singing the song.
Wow.
Yeah.
That had to be like a pinch me moment. I know you had to be emotional. I know you had to be all over the place emotional wise, man.
I was like, wow. Like, I'm thinking, don't get me wrong, Dr. Dillard, he's recorded some of my music before, but I think it was just the excitement in the room and like I said, how the song resonated in the room, that like it took my emotions to a whole different level. And like I said, with people walking up to me, shaking my hand and praying for me while the song's going on, I was just like, wow, this is crazy. And then, you know, even to know that it was the lead single from the record, you know, that was another thing that was mind blowing.
Yeah, yeah. And we talked about this song before, and I said that it was dangerous. I didn't realize it was this dangerous. But I think the biggest thing is that, and it actually leads me to our next question is what are the elements of a good choir song?
Um, I think the elements to a good choir song is one, the message,
Hmm.
uh, two, the arrangement of it, um, and I guess three would definitely be the delivery. Um, you know, when you look at a lot of gospel songs, they kind of take you on a journey.
Hmm.
You know the songs they have their highs and lows, and you have that excitement. Um, Definitely when you get to the vamp of a song,
Hmm.
and I think you know, like I said, if you have a good message and good arrangement and good delivery, I think you know it makes a good song.
Yeah, I think what makes Hold On, well, it's a few things I would say that makes Hold On what it is. One is the message of it. Everybody has been in a place in their life where they just had to hold on, where they're just
Right.
barely making it and they just got to hold on. So I
Yes.
think that's the first thing is that message resonates with anybody because everyone has been at that place in their time in life,
Right. Right.
right? So then the
Yeah.
second thing is that to your point about the arrangement of it, the song builds. It
Yes.
starts out, it seems real regular, seems so real basic, and then you just build, and then by the time y'all get to the one, when you got to
Yeah.
hold on, it's
Yeah.
a wrap.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's important. I think if it's the songwriters out there, and for people out there that are doing choir music, I think that there's a formula almost.
Almost certainly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To and you touched on it in terms of those three elements. What would you say is the difference between, because I think your song transcends eras. I think it has some of the old and some of the new elements in it. But like with people like, I guess like the Vincent Bohannons, the Anthony Browns, even shout out to Naja Scott and Divine
Oh yeah.
Anointing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, talk about the difference between the old and the new generation in terms of the choir style and music.
Well, you know, I think that you know, a lot of the newer choirs they've taken on the and I'm not even call it CCM, but they've taken on the praise and worship type of situation. A lot of
Mhm.
the unison lines and different things like that with harmonies poking out and everything like that. Which for me, I think is incredible. If you have a choir that can definitely you know deliver that. But you know, not all choirs can deliver that. Um, but you know, as far as like my choir, or even like how I write most of the time, I kind of like to try to bridge um, the old with the new. You know, especially if I know who I'm writing for. Try to bridge that gap. Because you know, my thing is, you know, you got to know where you're going, and you got to know where you come from. So somehow you got to bridge that gap. And I with majority of my writing, I try to bridge the gap, so people can get uh, some essence of that
Mhm.
old school mixed with the new school. And you know that's how I try to do it. Vincent Bohannon just dropped a new single last Friday.
Yeah.
And
They're just playing a classic.
It's a banger.
Yeah.
The way he arranged that. And I think Vincent is definitely great at how he intertwines the old school and the new school. With both choirs. He has two choirs, and they don't, even the choirs don't sound the same. So he's doing a great job with that.
Yeah, for sure. I think that we have the choir music is in good hands. Like because you have of course you have the standards, the Pastor Keys, the Bishop Hezes, the Dr. Dillards, but and we've seen this in the NBA that there's a changing of the guard in the NBA. We're watching these playoffs and we've seen the changing of the guard. There's eventually going to be a changing of the guard in terms of choir music. So I think that that it's in good hands, and I feel good about the direction in which choir music is going, and it's not going to die.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little concerned about that because it seemed like praise teams were starting to, right? So and then I think it was also a byproduct of church sizes where churches didn't have the capacity in terms of the voices to be able to fill choirs or put choirs together. So I'm just glad that we still have that going.
And that's mainly because the style of the choir music changed. When the style of the choir music changed, a lot of the singers that sang in the church choirs, because they're not vocally trained. They just whosoever will, let them come.
Just making a joyful noise.
Yeah, exactly. So when they hear some of this newer stuff, they're like, "Oh man, I can't sing that."
Yeah. It takes a special, and I talked about Nadia Scott, like her version of Total Praise. It takes a special group of individuals. You can't mess with that. You got to have the right group of individuals to mess with that arena.
Yes.
I totally get it. So listen, man, you guys just did, you and the choir just did an unplugged concert, right?
Yeah.
So tell me how that went, and then why you decided to do it.
So the concert went great, man. We decided to do the unplugged concert some years ago. It's something that we do every year.
Okay.
And it's just our way to give back to our city, because we rarely sing in our city. And then a lot of people forget that we are a church choir.
Mm-hmm.
So it's our way of doing a full concert in our church, opening the doors for the city to come in, and for everybody to enjoy. Because I'm not the type of person that just want to sing abroad. I want to sing to my home folks.
Sure.
I don't want nobody to say we didn't sing for the home people. I'm going to sing for everybody as long as I can.
Absolutely, and I think that's important because you can't forget where you came from. You can't forget the roots and because to your point that it's a church choir, so you want to make sure that you're still serving at home. So that's really good. So I got a tough question for you.
Okay.
Put together your dream band of New Jersey musicians. So I told you it was tough. So here's what you got: keys, organ, aux, bass, and drums.
Keys, organ, aux, bass, and drum.
If you want to add a lead guitar, you can.
Okay. Now is this deceased and alive as well?
You can do that.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start with the drums.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with Jeff Davis.
I would thought you was gonna say that. That's when you said this piece. That's the first person I thought of.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna go with Jeff Davis on drums. I'm going to go with Joe Wilson on main.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go with bass. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna always rock with my bass player, Rob Ruffles.
Okay. All right. On team. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Oregon. Man, it's a lot of cats from Oregon. Let's go with Jared Howard out of Atlantic City.
Okay.
Very, very versatile guy. August. I don't know. See, Jersey, we don't have too many Hawks players.
Okay. We can leave that off.
But if we were doing guitar, I'm gonna go with Melvin Smith. He used to play with SOP.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? No, let's do it. So if I'm gonna do aux, I'm gonna pull out James Perry. James Perry did all the aux work for all the Savoy and Malico records.
Yeah.
Everything like that. Yes, sir.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. There's a few names I'm going to throw in there. But one first, fun fact about Jeff Davis. He was a hooper. I used to play ball with that guy.
Yes.
And as big as he was, that joker had a jumper that he could pull from deep. So rest in peace to a great guy, great drummers. But yeah, so I'm gonna add a few.
Okay.
I'm gonna shout out someone. So you talked about home team. I'm gonna shout out my guy, Marlon Boykins on drums.
Okay.
It's another good one. On keys or on organ, James Crawley Jr.
Okay.
He's down in Florida with me now. But he's another beast. He's a humble beast that a lot of people don't know about. Derek Lee.
Yes.
Gotta rest in peace to him. We gotta throw him in there.
Yes, that's right.
We gotta give him his flowers. He's another one.
Yes, sir.
And also, I'm gonna shout out Aunt Nellie, Lionel Andrews.
Okay.
Another one. So there's a lot.
And yeah, okay. If you're going that route, you can't leave Carlton out.
Carlton Pope.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. So it was a tough question. Once you start doing this, it's hard to pick. But the great thing is that New Jersey has a long lineage of great musicians. So just a little fun question.
Most certainly.
You know what I mean?
I don't even count myself in the musician part no more. I don't.
I get it. Because I played in New York. Shout out to my home church in the Bronx, Pure Gospel. So I don't even bring and when it comes to anything in terms of musician, there's so many guys in New York. I don't even play with myself and try to put myself in that list. So listen, as we get ready to wrap up, tell me what's next for you writing wise. Is there more pictures on the way? And then also tell my audience how they can connect with you and follow you on social media.
Sure. I have some songs out now, waiting placement. As well as getting ready to finalize the producer for my EP, my personal EP.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did one a long time ago, but I kind of put it off. I was signed to a label, and the label fell through. So I got discouraged, and then didn't put it out. So I have some new songs that
Are you gonna do it yourself?
Yeah,
You put it out yourself? Okay.
Yeah. I have some new songs that I wrote that God specifically told me that they were for me to put out. And so I'm working on that stuff now. Trying to finalize everything. Just like I said, just trying to finalize who's going to produce it. And preferably, I have that out by the end of this year.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to reach out to me on all social media, it's D Corey Shipley on Facebook, on Instagram, and what's that other thing called? TikTok. And what's that? What's the other thing from Instagram?
X, Twitter. Do you use Twitter?
I do Twitter. So yeah, I'm D Corey Shipley on that. But what's that other thing that's with Instagram now?
Oh, Threads, maybe?
Threads. Yeah, Threads. I'm on Threads as well.
Okay, yeah, I haven't messed with that one yet.
Yeah. So Threads is Instagram's Twitter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've been getting things to people wanting me to subscribe to their Threads channel, but so I don't know. I'm actually trying to take some of this social media stuff off my plate.
Nah, I got you.
You know what I mean? Because it's a lot. I got a lot of things going on between head coaching a high school team, and launching a scholarship, and with the HBCU with Virginia State to start. And so I'm actually looking for an intern. So if anybody watching, whoever watches this, if you know what I mean, you gotta make your request known, as the word says.
That's right.
You're looking for, if you want to be an intern, DM me or inbox me, email me, send a CAD picture, whatever you want to do. But listen, man, Corey, first let me say, one, I'm super excited for you. I think this is a long time coming, and I'm excited that you're now getting the national recognition that you deserve.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
it. Because as an indie, and you're grinding, and a lot of times you're doing it on your own, on your own pocket, just staying true to your labor on this level, man, I'm just super excited for you. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to see, stellar time. I'm waiting to see you up there being nominated. You up on that stage.
The record in itself is nominated. The record is nominated 9 times.
There you go. I'm looking forward to seeing you in your Sunday best, dressed to the nines, walking that red carpet out there in Vegas. I don't know if I'm going out there because I was just out there, last month with my wife, and being in that climate,
it's something out there, man.
That dry climate is not for me.
Yeah, nah, I agree.
So we'll see. But if I'm not at the Stellars, I'll definitely be at the Doves, because that's a little closer. Nashville is a quick flight. So
okay.
So, but yeah, man, listen, all the best. And we'll stay connected. Once you come out, once you do the EP, we'll bring you back to talk about that.
Yes, sir.
And thanks again for being on the ANY KEbnY Video Show.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That was Corey Shipley, and that's going to be it for this episode of the ANY KEbnY Video Show. I want to thank Corey again for joining me. If you have any questions, comments, would like your brands or services to be advertised and promoted on the show, or if you want your video to be featured on the show, send an email to kanmusicpub@gmail.com. Again, that's kanmusicpub@gmail.com. Subscribe to the Minds of Creativity YouTube channel, which is a part of the All Sports, All Plays network. So you can check out the rest of the content, and so you can get the alert when new episodes are available. You can become a patron on my Patreon page. Just go to patreon.com/ANY KEbnY to get exclusive access to behind the scenes video and free show merchandise. Or you can order your merch at the online store. Just KANMcollective.threadless.com. Again, that's KANMcollective.threadless.com. Shout out to all my patrons and people who have ordered merchandise. I appreciate your support. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on social media at Coach_ANY KENY on Twitter, TikTok, Clubhouse, Instagram, and on my Facebook music page, Any Key Music, which is spelled capital ANY, capital KE, lowercase b, lowercase n, and capital Y. So until next time, be positive on purpose.